All right. Here comes season 2 review, or it's not season 2, episode 2.
Starting off with a bang.
Starting off.
Gents.
All right, start it over. Cut.
No cutting. Episode 2 of Invincible.
Started out.
Now,
effing great.
F it. Of Invincible. This is what? DicWahlChardye.
DicWahlChardye.
Hey, that's still
Dan's
PG.
favorite name
That's still
ever.
PG. It's not a swear word. Yeah, so it starts off right with kind of recap of the bloody murder.
Yep.
And then Omni-Man's in the hospital.
What's his name? Cecil? What's this guy's name?
Cecil.
Oh.
The teleport
we
guy.
get the guy
The
that's
teleport
like
guy.
the like king of the
got
hill
glasses.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, King of the Hill. Yeah. With the chin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
So
their
we
lack of.
kind of have to start off. I have to talk about the fact that it is still basically Justice League and Marvel.
Yep.
They haven't got away from that fact that it's
Nope.
still the exact same characters. You still have Mustache Superman. You have Hellboy now who shows up.
I know.
The demon investigator.
I'm sure we all had the same thought. I was like, all right, where's his big hand?
Yeah, it was just like, man, I don't know if I can.
I know. Look past it. I know.
I can. I've looked past it.
Okay.
I'm
I just know
I'm
I
totally
think it's
with
still
you.
holding
In my
on
head, I'm
to
just
that,
thinking
like,
Invincible, it's still trying to be serious, but it's clearly throwing jabs. I don't know if it's jabs or if it knows what it's doing, right? I mean, it's obvious. It knows it's queuing up Justice League and making doing the parallels to it. But yeah, I guess it could feel like, I guess the word's not like raunchy, but it could feel disingenuous to what it's
right?
Yeah, not original almost.
Yes.
But then it's at the same time, I feel maybe
Not candid or sincere, typically by pretending that one knows less about something than one really does.
that's some of the appeal, is that it's playing on the fact that it knows it's being original with a superhero story, but it's coming out of nowhere, interjecting on notes like.
Wait, what do you mean it's a original superhero story?
Oh, like original, yeah. Well, I shouldn't have said original. What I meant to say is like vanilla. It's coming off as vanilla, and then it's hitting you with these kind of like, oh shit, like it's giving you vanilla, but then it keeps dropping in little
Almonds?
little doses.
Almonds? Are they roasted almonds? I just had roasted almonds.
Dude, they're throwing it like roasted almonds is perfect. Who gets vanilla, right, with roasted almonds? But all of a sudden, this show's kind of like, hey, we're gonna throw some roasted almonds in the vanilla that you've been drinking for the last 10 years.
I don't know what vanilla means, Mac.
Oh, vanilla is like vanilla WoW. Like when people say vanilla World of Warcraft, vanilla is saying like OG, original. Like so, like when I say vanilla, I mean like old school, just traditional like superheroes. Like Superman goes out and saves the day, and Lois Lane never dies, and blah blah blah. But this show's kind of like, hey, yo, Lois is gonna die. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna watch Lois die with her neck tubes and shit. Yeah, good, like
Okay, so speaking
that's
of
what this
that,
show- so.
I was talking to a coworker and he was talking about Superman, and he's like, I wish they would open Superman up. I wish they wouldn't limit Superman in all these different ways. In Man of Steel and all the original Superman movies like Batman vs Superman, they always stop Superman from being his full potential. So in this, if you want to argue that, this shows Superman at his max. He can beat every single person out there combined.
Yeah.
And if he was a bad guy,
If he was a bad guy, which
kind of.
sure of, right?
Right. Still on.
Speaking of bad guys, can we talk a minute about the little Cyclops guy who was in outer space and he just showed up and he started kicking butt and then he was
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
That was the best part.
That was so funny. I was
Yeah.
Ooh,
just like,
You
oh,
just
like,
like, okay.
all right. Well, I guess you're using your timeout. Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
He's just some like alien.
He's a auditor.
Yeah,
He's
he's
an
auditor, yeah.
What's his name?
He's
Alan.
He's Alan the alien.
Okay, so Alan the alien.
Yep.
So he's talking to him, and obviously he gets the name of the planet wrong, but he also was there, and what's his name? Mustache Superman knows that.
He said he fought the other guy.
he fought Mustache Superman. So that means that Superman knew that he was fake, knew the rules, and let him come back.
Maybe every time he lets him go, but he doesn't know this whole time. Like Mark figured it out because Mark talked with him that, you know, this is Earth. And he goes, it's not Urath, right?
Yeah.
He's like goes back like slowly. Like, that's not Urath back there. Like, I feel like it was because he talked to him. I don't know, but you could be right though. Maybe he never talked. He just let him go each time. Or
he talked to him, knew about it, because I guess we're kind of alluding to the end. That's where I'm trying to go, to the end of the episode where he fights this alien mob. When he fights, he gives the line of, "It's my planet," or "It's not Conquer." Yeah.
Wow. So what does that indicate? Of like whose planet is it to conquer?
maybe it's whoever alien race, Viltrumites.
Right. Which I think, obviously, as soon as he said that line, I got all fired up about it, because I was like, oh, well, this fits with my theory at the end of our last discussion of that the Viltrumites' goal is to conquer this planet. But again, it's obviously intentionally ambiguous enough that could still say that line with good intent.
Dude,
and if that's
Omni-Man
the case,
just crushed that other alien planet. It was unreal. He just zoomed through the whole planet and just
no effort.
nothing. Yeah, just like it was nothing. Oh, it was awesome. I mean, it was
reminded me
really
of
cool to see.
Matrix 2 when Neo catches Trinity and you have
He caught her, and then all of New York.
Yeah.
all the New York comes back behind him. The explosions behind Mustache Superman.
I did look up, and Mac, you were right that one of the writers of the comic is Robert Kirkman, who created Walking Dead.
Ooh. Dude,
Is that the
I thought it was
super-
super weird that Eve, who just came out of nowhere, was part of this other team, happens to be at the same high school.
Yeah.
Okay. He couldn't have made it a different high school.
Also, the comic originally, he originally appeared in a comic in 2002, and then had his own comic series starting in 2003.
Okay.
What?
2002.
Oh. Now, is the show exactly the same as the comic? They just now have made it into an animated series as opposed to reading? No idea. No idea. Nobody knows. Okay.
And then I guess it's the aliens. The aliens got super pissed and just kept.
I thought that was kind of a weak storyline. The whole.
Yeah, I thought it was okay, that's kind of fun. Oh, and guess who's the
ladies
of the aliens?
Oh, don't tell me. I looked it up. Okay, tell me.
It's Digimon Hansu.
Oh my!
Yes.
Doesn't even say a single word in English, and they got him to voice a character that was in one episode.
They might bring him back.
I saw that Digimon was it. That's awesome.
Insane. So Damien Darkblood, Hellboy.
He's the Hellboy.
Yes.
Hellboy.
And is investigating and whatever, and has that moment where he's talking to Cecil and Cecil's bro, and he was like, there was no other person in this room.
I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I still feel that it is the exact same everything is everything.
I agree. I totally agree.
What sparks that right now?
Everything, I mean, through the 2 episodes, the second episode was hard for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I was just very bored.
Okay.
What's different?
Right. So
What's
you're
different?
waiting for the end of the episode. It feels very much
Kinda.
like when I read Twilight. I read Twilight before it was actually a movie, and Twilight, it wasn't as rom-commy. It wasn't as rom-commy in the book, and you get to the end of the book and these vampires go crazy and fight each other. And you're like, that's not bad. Then you read it again, the second one, and it's lovey-dovey, and you're like, oh. The second one, they're like, let's fight again, and you're like, I'm just reading this trash to get to a cool little ending. And I'm not saying that this is completely trash, but it's very.
It just goes in the same line as all the others.
Can't fight. Everything is the same. You're watching 30 minutes of the typical to get 15 minutes of a cool ending.
Yeah.
All right. Where was my thought just now? Yeah.
For Alex and I, it's just, and Alex, I mean, I may be speaking for you, but like, I guess it's just like these first couple episodes where they have to do the character development, like you have to, but it's just so old and plain out. It just makes the show like, God, why am I watching this? It's just not any different.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
think about
interesting.
this a lot, and I think about it because Batman's one of my favorite characters. New Batman movies, and I'm cringing the moment that they have to show his parents die.
Oh, every single one. And when the new one with Robert
then
Pattinson,
I started thinking about it. I'm like,
they're gonna show it.
It kind of has to happen.
8, 9.
True.
Okay, so let's say you're 7 years old. This is your first
Yeah.
show, and you start watching, and you're like, "Oh, this is cool," and this becomes your
first.
So they have to do it this way.
Yeah.
Right.
And it kind of sucks for like being 30. It sucks. It's just
Hey, speak for yourself.
How old are you?
29, dog.
But
no, Alex, I think you're right. I think and it's kind of like what I said. It's because Marvel and DC beat them to it.
Is one of my most hated things in superhero movies is X-Men. The X-Men movies. Look at Dan. Wait.
Dude, they're fucking terrible.
We've gone over this, Dan. We've gone over this.
Most of the movies are kind of
the movies themselves are not the best.
No. I like, but why I didn't like the X-Men was you had 44 million characters to develop. You picked one. You picked Wolverine.
Yeah.
And
you knew there was
what?
You didn't like the magnifying glass on something because you knew there was such a bigger world because of the comics and shit.
For sure. But anyway, we digress. Well, I believe Alex went last time, so I think Alex should go first this time.
I like it. All right. It's pretty vanilla, as Mac would put it. And I want almond sprinkles as main course and vanilla on top.
Thanks, Doug.
So I'll rate both. I'll rate episode 2 and then I'll put them together. Episode 1 and 2 so far. So episode 2 by itself was probably like a 6.
That's fair.
I mean, like the aliens were pretty typical. The talk was pretty typical.
I think I'm gonna follow that. I think it'll be easier because Alex, you hit literally the same, going through the motions, same thing. Something a little different, and then keep going, up, little something different. Like I said, again at the end of the episode, super cool to watch Omni-Man just blow the whole city up, and like I think the one thing that I do appreciate from this show, which we touched on, was just the pure graphical
savagery.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact of how much stuff that they're actually showing in the show is really, really cool.
Yeah,
I do like that because it is very different. But as far as the actual story, which in my mind it plays a very big role in ratings, Alex, I'm right there with you, man. I'm at like a 6 for episode 2. So, and then between the first one, which I had an 8, I'm right at a 7 as well. I mean, I'm not really any different. I feel the exact same as you do, Al.
All right, Mac, hit it up.
What I like specifically about episode 2 coming from episode 1, I know because I'm not speaking on recently getting a refresher watch, but I still remember how I felt when I was watching episode 2. And that was that because I came from episode 1, going in episode 2, I felt like there was higher stakes. I think that was probably the biggest difference that I remember I was feeling when I was watching get introduced. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, nice to meet you, Eve. You're probably gonna die today. You know, like that's why I felt like when she was going to go fight, like, or anybody, it's just like you're seeing all these bullets, and I felt like almost like with the aliens, right? I felt like someone's just gonna get hit, and it's like bye, new superhero that just joined. That's how I felt when I was watching it. So like
that almost would have been better.
Yeah,
I would have
kind of.
Yeah, just like it felt like everything was a lot more expendable. And so I still had a bit of a higher like I find though too when I watched this I went 1, 2.
You're a little
3,
bit higher.
Yeah, but I remember how I was the I'm a little bit higher. But anyways, I don't think my mind was churning. I know my mind wasn't churning about episode 2 being generic yet at that point when I watched it. So if I was to rate it when I watched episode 2, fresh blank slate like you guys are, I would have given episode 2 at least I would say about 8.2.
Okay. Still pretty high though. So and your first one was an 8.9, correct?
No, his was a 9.
A
It
9.
was a 9.
Okay, so you're in the high 8s through the first 2 episodes. Okay. All right, D, fire away.
All right, so I mean, yeah, I talked through kind of what my thoughts were. Again, I'm still latching on to there being something cool to tie in things that we don't have answers to yet. But I'll absolutely admit that a lot of this was a little tried and a little rote and a little bit repeaty. And I was like a little like, I think the thing that really miffed me the most was the fact that Eve was at his high school, and it was like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like, okay,
Yeah, it's tough.
seriously. So I, definitely, I think to Al's point, definitely wanted more of the sprinkles because I know they're there. I know we will get them, but I similarly get enough in this episode, but I still liked the vanilla that I had, and I would still eat it again.
Fair enough.
I have to ask
if I gave it a score, this one probably like a clean 7.5. Like,
That's fair.
Yeah.
entertained, I'd watch it again,
That's
but like
right in the middle of the road.
yeah, exactly. It was a middle of the road kind of thing for me. I see it as a bridge to getting to something else.
I think
they
that will
are
change
rather.
Jack's
I think because I think there was a line in the show about that those you thought they were rather invincible, not in.
Wow.
Isn't that what
Wow.
Larry or Alice?
Oh, it was
Yes.
Alien.
Yeah.
I would
He's
say
like-
like,
he's like-
more invincible.
huh?
Yeah.
All right, boys. That's a good way to end it.
Good deal. All right.